everybody, Caleb here with Mike Walsh.
Hey everybody.
Back again with Modern Era Fitness Podcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different because we realized you guys don't know anything about us. You don't know why we're talking about health, what we do, and why we care. So we're just going to go ahead and do one of our favorite things, and that's talk about ourselves. Mike.
Yes.
How did you get into personal training?
Try
not to say so much.
Oh.
Good.
I give Caleb a hard time about saying so he's giving me a hard time. So do you want the long form of how I got into personal training or the short form?
Well, we want this podcast to be about 30 minutes long, so if you could at least give me 7 minutes to explain what I do.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, you got a clock?
Go.
And go. Okay, so there I was in high school, and I really got into lifting. It was true, though. And a friend gave me Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, and I carried that around, and I read it a couple times, and I really got into it. And then I joined the Marine Corps, and I noticed that a lot of my buddies in the Marine Corps didn't really know what they were doing. So I helped out a few of my friends and kind of coached them along with how to lift and how to really get in shape, and not just Marine Corps shape, but building muscle mass and having goals and shooting for those goals. And then
specific tailor-made
specific tailor-made
strategies.
So it's like, okay, I want to not just work out and get in shape, but I have a clear idea of what I want to do.
Right,
so I would help them do that.
Okay. The friend that gave you the book, did they think that you were out of shape, or
no?
Did they see that
he was actually my lifting buddy in class, in the weights class in high school, and I was really getting into it. And he's like, "Actually, I got this encyclopedia at home. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Okay.
So, no, he wasn't doing a not so subtle hand of like, "Hey, got this book you might like."
Yeah.
You're in high school and you're not in shape. You should probably get in shape.
Yeah. If you ever want to get a girlfriend, read this book.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps. How did that influence how you train people?
So it's kind of a how do I say this? So I learned how to not do it. Basically, it's don't be a dick.
Okay, we can't use that word.
Oh, don't be a mean person.
Better.
We're going to have some beeps in this one? I hope so.
Keep going.
Okay, I was asking you.
I don't know how to add beeps right now.
Oh, so okay.
I could try, but...
We're honest about being new at this, folks. So, what was the question?
How did the Marine Corps influence how you train people? And you said by not being mean.
By not being mean.
Because when I picture a Marine Corps person that might be a personal trainer, I would assume that they're mean. Like, that's part of the MO.
Right, and that's a lot of people use that niche out of the Marine Corps. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm a Marine Corps vet, and I'm a personal trainer, and that's my thing, and I wear a Marine Corps shirt when I train people, and I'm really mean, and I drive them into the ground.
Like a drill sergeant. Like
drill instructor, but yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Not
a civilian. I didn't...
Now I'm really mad. Can you tell?
That's your angry smile.
This is my angry smile, my angry laugh, but I'm real mad. So I learned that if you want somebody to do something, being mean to them isn't the way to do it. Especially if you want to help them, then approaching them and being mean about it isn't probably going to work. Even if they are paying you. So be nice.
What do you mean, even if they are paying you?
So when I was in the Marine Corps and I would help buddies train, I wouldn't charge a thing. We would just go train together, and I would just show them what to do. But now that I'm on the outside, I don't get paid to just be a part of the government property.
That's my job now.
Yeah, that's your job.
Actually, that's your job. We both have state jobs that we also do on the side.
On the side, but not for long.
No.
I hope my boss isn't listening to this.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did you get started in Kung Fu? Or is it karate?
All of the above, kind of. We call it Kung Fu, but it's really a mix. Well, I was kind of just one of those normal kid. Well, I wasn't a normal kid.
I was going to say.
Yeah, but as far as the desires to do karate and Kung Fu and all those kind of cool things, I had that as a kid.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, where I grew up, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity for that. It was a smaller town, and I don't know that as a kid I never felt like we were poor or anything, but looking back, I don't think we could have afforded it, even if there was.
I don't.
Is that going
think
to make
so.
my parents feel bad if they listen to this?
No, I don't think so. I think we're at the point where you can really be honest. I think that's what we want to do with this podcast is be honest above all.
Yeah, but I don't want to hurt my parents' feelings.
Well, do you think they would agree with you that you?
I don't know. That's the thing. They were such good parents that they never. We had no clue if we had money or not. You know what I mean? As kids, they didn't. Obviously, we weren't involved in the financial planning of the family. As a 7-year-old,
little Caleb, what do you think?
Yeah, but it wasn't available, and I don't think that we had the money for it, even if it was. But so when I got older, when I grew up, moved out of the house.
How old is that?
I think I moved out when I was 19.
Ooh. Maybe
18. I don't remember. I'm horrible with dates. It was still something I wanted to do when I got older. And Chemeketa, the local community college, all of a sudden had a catalog come out that listed Kung Fu as one of the classes they offered. And Kung Fu was specifically what I wanted to do growing up, even though I didn't really know kind of the differences between all the different martial arts. And so I signed up for the class, and the instructor of that class, Sifu Mike Beckley, he taught us the art that I practice now, which is Kajukenbo, Tum Pai. It's the Tum Pai branch of Kajukenbo. If you don't know what Kajukenbo is, you can look it up. Google it. Kajukenbo. Kajukenbo.
You thought Caleb was going to tell you what Kajukenbo was,
nope.
But you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't want to hand out all the answers. You gotta do some of the work out there. He started teaching through the community college, and we had maybe 4 or 5 people in the class, and they need 8 to 10, I think, to continue a class. And so since we didn't have the numbers, they canceled the class. He took the opportunity then to start his own school, so I followed him and trained under him. And eventually, his family started to grow. He had some new babies and some new jobs and stuff. So I started taking on some of the responsibilities, and he kind of groomed me, if I can use that word without it sounding creepy. He groomed me to become an instructor. And as I went through the ranks, I ended up taking over the school, not through violent overthrow.
Yeah, just
I realized how that sounded.
This is my Headspace now.
Really, he fostered me and mentored me, and I ended up taking over the school, and so now I'm teaching at my own place.
Nice.
Which is the same place that you teach.
Yeah, I was going to say, this isn't your own place.
Yeah. So that's how I got into it. That's how I wound up here now, recording this podcast with you.
Cool.
And it's been a wild ride.
So now that we know a little bit about myself and what Caleb does, what's this podcast about? Let's dive into why we're doing this.
Yeah, why we're doing this. Because over my training, well, it's kind of a two-pronged thing for me. Marrying my wonderful wife, Kelly, she is really into fitness, eating healthy, and working out and all that stuff. And so she was a really big influence on the lifestyle side of things, like how to live healthy and make healthy choices and things like that. And she's a nurse in the emergency department too, so she's got...
That's nuts.
Yeah, she's got the brains and the brawn and the beauty.
Yeah, full package.
Back off.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So she kind of got me in and focused with the whole working out and the eating better, but it also was in part to my martial arts training that I got focused on health, because I wanted to perform better as a martial artist, and it kind of like fine-tuning your instrument, so to speak.
Right.
And as I went through the ranks, it kind of became evident that if you want to get serious about this, if you want to perform well, if you want, to be able to do some of the things that you set out as your goal, you got to step up your game and make it a lifestyle as opposed to something you do as a hobby. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so those two things kind of came together. And so now not only do I teach martial arts, but I try to emphasize a healthy lifestyle in and outside of the school. And that's why Mike and I came together, is because we both have kind of the same vision, wanting a holistic health for our clients and students. We want them to be safe and be healthy at the same time. So that's kind of my mentality and why I wanted to team up with Mike. Aside from him being a good guy and a good friend, we just kind of are on the same wavelength as far as what we want for people. So, Mike, how did you get to that point? Why are you here?
First of all, thanks for what you said. That was very sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a reason I didn't look you in the eye when I say I was getting kind of shy.
Well. So over the course of the years, training people, I've noticed that there's a lot of information out there that's incomplete, and it's handed out as complete information. And a good example of that is an article saying, the 5 best 100 calorie snacks, Yeah. And I'm actually guilty of this, of putting out something that says, the 5 best exercises to lose weight. And it's incomplete, and it acts as a complete piece of information.
What do you mean you're guilty of it?
So I've written an article. I think it's actually called the 5 best exercises to lose weight fast. Yeah, and okay. But it's out there, and they're great exercises. But I wanted to get out a new way of getting information to people that really brings it all together.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't say you're guilty, because guilty, I could see.
So not guilty. That, they're not wrong exercises, and they are the best exercises if you do want to lose weight. But I think that
exercises alone aren't gonna get you to your
exercises alone aren't gonna do it. It's gonna be stress management. It's gonna be nutrition. It's gonna be how you sleep. Right. It's gonna be the full picture.
And I feel like people are, when they see a headline like that, that's what's gonna get their attention. And if you want to help somebody, you kind of need to grab their attention first.
That's true.
So I don't
That's
fault you for it, man.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Anyway,
I really want to get to the point where I'm not trying to grab people's attention. Mm-hmm. I'm just, that guy that is shouting like, "Hey, this isn't how we should do it." We don't have to focus on these, very specific points. Let's focus on all of it. Yeah. And let's bring it all together. Yeah. We're gonna dig deep in this aspect or that aspect, this day and this day, but then we're gonna bring it all together and make it all work together.
Good.
So that's why I wanted to start this podcast, or what I want to convey in this podcast.
Yeah, kind of disseminate that whole package.
Right.
Healthy lifestyle thing.
Right.
Well, good. Awesome.
Yeah. Have you listened to other martial arts podcasts?
There aren't that many.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a good one called Tuhan and Sons, but I wouldn't say I'm a religious listener. It's a good one, and those guys are good. They talk about any number of martial arts and kind of get real, and they'll talk if it's crap or not, that kind of a thing.
That's cool.
That one's good. As far as healthy ones, I don't know. Is that kind of what you're asking? Like,
no, I want to know
just martial arts.
Just martial arts.
Yeah, there aren't very many.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fan podcasts about kung fu movies and things like that, but there isn't a ton on martial arts specifically. That actually is another reason why I wanted to do a podcast with you, is because it's filling a hole that I think is there. And
right.
Maybe it's because nobody wants to hear about it.
Yeah.
There's no hole to fill, but I was looking for something. So
yeah, I think that's the main thing that signifies if there are listeners.
A demand.
Like if you create a podcast that you would want to listen to,
yeah,
then I can almost guarantee that there's a few other people out there. They're like, oh man, there needs to be a martial arts podcast.
That's a good point. If Google is any indication, like you think of the weirdest question, and you're like, I wonder if I'm the only one that has thought of that question. You start to type it into Google and it auto populates.
Mm-hmm. What are fish lifters?
Hashtag Mabimbam.
Yeah, best podcast ever. Anyway, I'm not going to point to that because it's very explicit.
Yeah, well, but on the other hand,
Yes.
Okay, first of all, that podcast is called My Brother and Me with the McElroy brothers. And it's really funny, but if you decide to listen to it, do be careful because they do get very blue.
What's blue?
And not like depressed blue, but blue language. Like,
I've never heard that. Blue language?
really?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know where that came from. Maybe I shouldn't be using it.
I think you made it up. Yeah.
Completely.
Oh, yes, blue language.
Very crass.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one?
Crass? I know what that word means.
Okay. Yeah, it's super crass, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
We stumbled on this. Well, we didn't stumble on it. They talked about it. They had a little advertisement for an app called Headspace.
Ooh, yeah.
And so I just figured we could talk about like new tech that we...
Well, back to Mabim my brother and me.
But I want to get back to Headspace eventually.
Okay.
So you can talk about your experience with it.
Okay, so my brother and me. I've been binge listening to it at my other job that I'm leaving pretty soon. And so they talk about these things and they're just hilarious, and every now and again they come up with new things to talk about, like Harry Potter's sorting hat. They made one called the sorting hat.
It really doesn't sound funny when we talk about it.
It doesn't sound funny when we talk about it, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
But I find that those things are coming out through my personal training. So every now and again I'll call like, hey, let's work on our biceps. I'll say fish lifters. And it's happened twice now.
And they have no idea.
And they have no idea.
They're
like,
going to
what?
think it's a normal...
It's going to permeate our culture.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my experience.
So Headspace is this app that they advertised on their podcast, and we're giving it a shot. I haven't had a chance to really dive into it, but Mike's had a chance to play around with it. And would you mind explaining it?
I don't mind at all. It's a very linear process that introduces somebody to meditation, and I absolutely love it. It's super simple, it's straightforward, and it's pure quality, or what I think would be quality from somebody that has never really dove into meditation. And it's the first 10 days are free, I think. After that, it's a subscription. But I did the first 10 days, and it was very eye-opening.
Can you just repeat those first 10 days? Or
hi, I'm Andy. Welcome to Headspace.
But seriously, like, do you have to pay for it to keep using it?
I don't think you have to. I'm not sure.
Okay. Because I'm always looking for the free handouts. So have you noticed it improving your meditation?
Not just improving meditation. Like, I'm not doing meditation to get good at meditation. Or I'm not meditating to get good at meditation. I'm meditating for a whole list of reasons. One of them being balance in my personal life, balance in business, and to improve my relationships, and to really get clarity.
Well, that's good. That sounds good. And it's just like an audio...
It's 95% audio, and every now and again, for when you check in on a day, it'll have a little video for you. Like a 2-minute or less video that's really informative, to the point, and pleasant. And
the audio is just a guided meditation, like he says, relax, and all that kind of stuff.
No, it's just a video that just explains meditation, or a facet of meditation.
But I mean the audio part. Like,
right.
How does it benefit your meditation practice, other than every once in a while a video?
Right. The audio part, as much as I can tell, because I haven't been doing it very long, is mostly guided, and the deeper you get, the less guided it is.
Kind of hand over the reins to you as a person.
I think so, but he also dives into different points of meditation, and so they're not just all just guided, A to B meditation. So for a couple days he'll focus on or he'll focus on relationships. And things like that. It's really neat.
Relationships.
Yeah.
How, like, what does he have to say about that? Like, why is he talking about relationships on a meditation app?
Well, do you think meditating affects your relationships?
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's talking about it.
But, what does he have to say about it?
He says, well, if you're not the top dog in all your relationships and friendships, you need to be the top dog. Exuding dominance all the time.
He's saying it so seriously. His face is so straight. I think, are you serious? I can't
No.
tell. Okay.
I don't know how to answer that question. He talks about, about motivations behind meditating and why we want to meditate and what we're going for and being clear about what we're going for.
I guess maybe a better question would be, how would we're getting on
Way
an
off
actual
topic.
no
Yeah.
well we're getting on an actual topic instead of just talking about ourselves, but what is the benefit of meditation to your relationship? Like, how would you see that?
I think the benefit of meditation to my relationship, like let's say my relationship with my fiance, soon to be wife, really soon.
Like the next time
Like
you record
tomorrow.
it's gonna be your wife.
Yeah, I'm actually supposed to be somewhere. I think we have a dinner right now, but I'm here recording.
Oh.
Just kidding. You're welcome, guys. And I think meditation acts as kind of a windshield wiper on the soul. So you really gain clarity and you gain a clear perspective of reality, and you learn to not take yourself so seriously. That's what I'm getting out of it really quick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. And so why are we talking about meditation in a health podcast?
Well, I think taking time, to me, it's the exact same thing as doing crunches. Like, you have a clear goal of how you want to improve the self, and why you would improve the self, whatever aspect it is, whether it's your mental, your spiritual, your physical self. There's always a reason why we want to be better, no matter what the reason is. Like, the reason for getting abs could be like, well, I want to be really attractive to the opposite sex. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. And so if somebody wants to meditate, well, why do you want to meditate? Well, I want to be really calm and in control of my emotions and not fly off the handle when things happen. Or I don't want to get stressed out easily. Or I don't want to stress about the wrong things.
Exercising the unseen muscles.
Right.
And I don't mean that in
Not the
no daylight
kind
of unseen muscles.
Yeah. So what do you think?
About what? I'm being mostly serious. About what?
About meditation.
I think it's great.
Meditation, love it.
I think it's fantastic, and it should be a regular practice for everybody. It has, I think, of the stress killing factor of meditation. Like what you said, you get a better hold on your emotions and your reactions to situations. It kind of causes you to have the ability to pull out of a situation and look at it from a bird's eye view,
right? In a way.
So you don't just react; you can respond instead,
right?
Like choose your response,
right, and not feel just like you're in a situation where you have to react this way, or you don't even see options.
Yeah. Well, there's also the longevity side of things. I think that meditation, because of all of those de-stressing factors, will help you be healthier and live longer. Because, I mean, you can find study after study about how stress affects your lifespan and your health, even in the immediate. It affects your heart condition, and your breathing, and everything. And
we'll post some links to about stress and meditation and studies that have been done. In the show notes. We're gonna have show notes, so look for those.
Yeah, I hope you wrote that down, that we need to do that.
No, I won't remember. I'm gonna listen to this again and then write the show notes, because if I try to talk and type a bunch, I'm gonna be like, what?
Maybe you should meditate more.
Okay, hang on. Hi,
this is good radio. Yeah.
Welcome to Headspace.
You're really proud of that accent, aren't you?
Today we're going to talk about Queen Latifah.
Speaking of, shout out to Queen, the Queen, not Queen, the band.
Oh, dang. I got really excited.
The Queen of the UK.
Oh, what'd she do?
She turned 90 years old this week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She going to turn up?
That's some longevity.
That is.
Right there.
That is. How are we going to celebrate that?
Her 90th?
Yeah.
Well, we're drinking tea.
We
Let's
are
raise
drinking tea. Raise
to the Queen.
Sorry, Obama.
Wait a second. This tea is from California.
Why is that important?
Well, we were toasting the Queen with...
Non-English tea?
Yeah. Sorry, Queen.
Sorry, Queen.
Well, happy birthday anyway. We tried.
Yeah. We're American. What do you expect?
Yeah. In fact, let's get rid of this tea.
I get it.
A little history joke for you.
Oh, man. Man, that came flooding back.
I figured, that would be a relevant one for
A Republican like myself?
a Marine Republican.
Yeah. Well, what is that supposed to mean? Just because I'm a Marine vet, I can't be Democrat?
No, because you have to be patriotic, and we all know that Democrats aren't patriotic.
No, that's true. If you're feeling hurt about that statement out there, it should have been Republican.
Quit being so politically correct.
We're going to have no listeners. We had one listener, now we have none.
I think I just offended myself. I'm not going to listen anymore.
Oh, this show sucks. You can reach us on Twitter at MEF Podcast or Instagram at MEF Podcast.
Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach us at modernerafitnesspodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook under the same name. Get at us, ask us questions, tell us what you want, what you don't want, and we'll do our best to make you happy.
No.
Well, healthy. How about healthy?
Well, we'll see.
Our best to make.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
If you got something you want us to dive into or talk about, let us know, and we'd be happy to see what we can do.
Keep it reasonable.
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
No.